I am super excited to show you the Event Display Pro widget. This widget allows you to easily show your events on your website and automatically update, filter them, and even once the event passes, that event is dropped off of your website, so you don't have to go back and remember to remove that event off your website that already passed. Once on your website, you've got the option to filter your events by categories. You can also filter it down by locations. In two other categories, you can do past or future events. Finally, you have the option to filter down by featured events, and that way you're only seeing the events that you want people to see that are the highlight events. Here it is. I have already added the web widget into my website. Here's where it's at, installed Event Manager. It'll eventually change to Event Pro widget. Once we're in here, clicking on this item brings up all of these different settings. The very first one is where you can add or create a new event or even modify an existing event. The name of the event, the date, the time zone, the event image URL, that's going to be this image that's being displayed, the description, what type of location, if it's virtual, in person, or both. The option to add the link to the virtual meeting. So let's say you've got a video that you're going to be hosting live YouTube in the future. You could put that YouTube link right there. Your categories and categories and locations right here. Then the call to action. This is what it's going to say right here. Finally, the link that you want to be redirected to when the person clicks on the call to action, where they're going to actually sign up. Moving to the next step, we have the option to show the grid number and or also the number of events that we want displayed. So if you only want 3 events or 2 events showed up at once, you can set that limit there. Event filters, we have got the option to decide what we want to show up on the event. So for example, on this one, I want the default to be all leadership events that are on the downtown office. Well, that's not a good one. Let's do the west side office, which there are none, so it wouldn't show any. So let's go ahead and do downtown office. And it's only showing 2 instead of that third one. And then we've also have the option to show which filters we want to show on the event. So I don't want to show any of the filters because I just wanted to see these 2 events. And now if I were to save this and show it on my website, you'll see that those filters are gone and people are only seeing the 2 events that I want them to see. And let me go ahead and refresh that. And there we go. Those filters are gone and I just see 2 events on my website. Moving over to display options, we now have the option to choose which items we want to be displayed on the website. So I'm going to go ahead and uncheck the tags, categories, and meeting link. Let's also do the physical address. I want it to be very, very simple and minimal. And I can now save this. And when I go over to the live view, it is much, much smaller. Here's where you can manage the categories and locations. I won't go into those. Those are pretty self-explanatory. Then we have all of these styling options. For the styling options, you can change pretty much anything on the card. So I'll just make a couple changes here just so we can see what this is going to look like. Change the background color, make it a little bit darker. There we go. And then change the card padding to a large padding. Typography, I want to change the color of the text to a much, much more prominent. Let's go red. And then the description, I'm also going to change this as well. There you go, the call to action button. I'm going to change that as well to a red and add a thick border with a different color. There we go. the tags and past event indicators. So this is going to be the tags which we turned off. This is what the tags are going to look like. And the past event indicator, I'm also going to make this into a red so we know this event is no longer happening. It already occurred in the future, or sorry, in the past. Finally, if we were to enable the filters, this is the option to style the filters as well. So let's go ahead and stay with the red theme, do that red, and then the text color go into a white and make it a little bit bolder. There we go. And save these changes. And just like that, I have fully customized my event widget. I can add and remove events. And once this event passes, so once December 10th, 2030 passes, this will automatically have the past events indicator on there. And what I actually want to show you is what happens when you strategically add filters. So I'm going to add filters to only show future events. And then that way, when I save this, and I say I had 20 or 10 or 5 future events, and they're all listed on my website, when the event passes on my website, that event will automatically drop off. There we go. Now it's working. I forgot to save the changes. But once I save the changes, that is what it's showing. So once again, this web widget allows you to fully customize your cards for your events. It allows you to choose what you want to display on there, change the styling of the entire card, and most importantly, once the event passes, we have the option to have that event automatically drop off so people aren't seeing an event that no longer is happening because it already happened. If you guys are interested in checking this out, go ahead and check out our website or get the widget and get it installed into your GoHighLevel funnel builder.